Good afternoon, Vince.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Match Day. And with us today, I hope everyone, by the way, is healthy and safe that are watching. With us today is Dave Jervis, who is the Senior Director of Youth Programs and Academy Operations. That's a huge title with the New York RedBulls. So, Dave, first off, thank you for joining us. And Dave, this is a two-part series. Dave's going to present part one of the New York RedBulls Training at Home program. And as many of us are still seeking alternative ways to keep our kids engaged and kids doing things at home. This is one of the best I've seen. And Dave, we're just truly appreciative of your time and you coming on. So if you don't mind, go ahead and share your screen and we'll get started. That'd be great.
While David's sharing his screen, I've been working with Red Bull since I started with United Soccer coaches about 8 years ago. And it has one of the finest affiliate programs, getting out in the community and supporting clubs that don't have DOCs. So I know some of this comes from David and the club's affiliate program, as well as their excellent development academy and then their full academy. So I've got a ton of good things to say about Red Bull, so I'm looking forward to this presentation too. Over to you, Dave.
Hi guys, hope everyone's doing well, and if the technology is working, everybody should be seeing my presentation and train at home. So, hope you guys are doing well. Ian and Vince, I think typically around this time, we're typically talking to you guys about coming out to Red Bull Arena and doing the Arena of the Games. So times have changed, but hopefully, we'll get you out there later in the season. Our train at home program. So when we started to go into isolation about 3 to 4 weeks ago, like many companies and organizations, we started to look at how could we support the youth soccer community? How could we support clubs? And in many ways, we need to reinvent what we're doing. So our education team and our whole youth programs team started to come together and to really work on this concept of, kids training at home, right? So, we're hopeful that, even outside of these times, that kids are going in the backyard, going to the park and training by themselves. But this really created a different situation. And, in this New York and New Jersey area, all the parks are closed, all the fields are closed. So as we created this, we had to be very mindful of the fact that we want to create exercises where kids can do in their backyard, do in their front yard, do in the basements. We've already had videos of some broken windows and vases, but hopefully this is going to improve over the course of the 10 to 12 weeks. We start to pull together a lot of this different content and thinking about how we could engage and really develop these kids during this time period. And we came up with this train at home concept, which essentially we pulled together a lot of content from our Red Print. So for those listeners that have been to the conventions, you would have saw some of this content and some of these scorecards. Essentially what we did here was pull everything together into one website and to one page. So let's get into what the plan really entails. So there is 4 components to the plan that we have, and it's broken up into a lot like 4 pillars of the game, although we changed a couple. We have the technical ball mastery section, which is a lot of different videos. And we're going to get into these both in my session and this afternoon with Max. We have the physical components, which are some activities that can be done at home. And then one that's been really exciting is our game knowledge one. So we've really challenged kids to get to know the Red Bulls better, pick 5-a-side teams. So far, that's been a big hit. And we also have our freestyle team, which is a group of individuals that are much better than the 3 of us at doing fun ball mastery tricks. So how you get involved in this, it's completely free. So any parent can sign up their kid for this program. Just go into the NewYorkRedBulls.com website and subscribing. And I think during the first 24 hours, we had over 3,000 subscribers and new parents, new kids that signed up for this program. So if you're signed up for this program, which is all of our current clubs, members, affiliates, and also anyone that subscribed in the first couple of weeks, on a Monday morning, you will get this graphic on the right-hand side and this email in your inbox, which is the plan for the week. So this is the week 1 plan, and we'll get into some of the ideas and concepts behind this. To support that, we also launched a team program. So if you're a part of the RedBull club partnerships and you are coached by a RedBull trainer, you get a weekly conference call and a virtual team training session with your trainer. So the only difference being is that we get all of the parents and the kids on a video conference. I just did one this past weekend. It's lots of fun with 7 and 8 year olds, and we take them through the train at home topics, and their coach walks them through what the expectations are. And then for the last 10 minutes, we finish with a little social time so kids can spend some time just chatting amongst themselves as well. The way that we track this, we encourage kids to go to our website and either download a PDF version of our scorecard, or you can print it. And then it's pretty simple. So it relies on them to be honest and challenge themselves. They just basically write the skill down, and every time they reach a milestone, they just simply circle it or check it off. And we found that this has really been competitive amongst the teams, and we've seen some of the kids on teams where they've they're in touch with each other, and how many have you done, how many toe taps. Okay, I'm at 500. So we found it really to be a good way to motivate the kids on a daily basis.
Yeah, this looks way more fun than the one I did for band when I was in middle school. So yes,
it's so
you had to. I don't know if you remember those days, but you had to I had to practice for 30 minutes. I had to beg my mom to sign off on it, even though this is way better. So anyway,
yeah, we're actually hearing from parents that the kids want to do this instead of the homework. This has been a reward for people in there. So I'll quickly go through, and later on the show, or later today, Max DeBain is going to come on and talk about this from more of a technical level, but I can quickly go through some of the 4 elements. So the first thing that kids get to see are the technical elements. So we've essentially divided up the ball mashing skill elements into 3 levels. And our goal here is to serve, we deal with kids, the younger ages. So really 5 and 6, level 1, all the way up to probably, 14, 15 at level 3. And obviously we have kids at, different ability levels that can challenge themselves. So each week we'll post these 6 videos with 3 different levels. So I'll just pull across into the Train from Home website. So you should see, and Vince, do you see the webpage?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you'll ultimately come to this webpage each Monday morning, and something we also do is just stress the safety aspect of this. So in here, we just stress that these are at home, train alone activities. We don't want kids going to the park, particularly in this area, or kids pairing up to do this. So this is week 2 information. So from a technical standpoint, and I'll jump straight to we'll show you a level 1 beginner. So I know we have, I'll press play, and let me see if I can get you the YouTube audio. Hold on a second.
Hey, I can do toe taps.
This one's for you, Vince.
Thank you. My speed there, and that is my speed. That's great.
So hopefully you can hear some of the audio.
Yeah.
Listen.
A little bit, yeah.
Good. Yeah, so that one's pretty straightforward. So that's literally just a basic warm-up activity. And then if we go to level 2, you can see that it gets a little bit more challenging. So this is the double L.
So they just practice this at home for so long, or like toe taps, like for example. So what do they? Do they have to get 50? Do they have to get 100? Is that right?
Yeah, so we really haven't been too prescriptive on this. So when we first put it out there, we heard that some kids want to do it every day. Some kids, based on their situation, they maybe only do it once a week. So we realized at this time, soccer and youth soccer is secondary to everything that's going on at the moment.
Right.
But so, yeah, we certainly have kids that are doing 1,000 of these. Some kids are doing 500 of these. Some are doing 10. It's really just a opportunity to engage with the kids and to get them doing something. And that for those that want to push themselves, you can see that there's a bunch of different levels that we have within here. Going all the way up to in here within the level 3 activity, and I'll just play this one.
So these were actually done on the Red Bull Stadium pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we had an interesting conversation with our field guy and groundskeeper, but ultimately they got shot over a duration, and I think we're seeing the benefits now of spending. We spend, and I know you guys do a lot of different video shoots and do a lot of different online resources, and it takes a lot of time to build these. But we have hundreds of these videos which we're now able to put out in this this online capacity. Something we've also done is on a weekly basis we're engaging the first team players as well. So we're sending the skill to one of the players. So this is Jared Stroud, who he come through our academy, he come through RDS, come through USL. So here's a player, right? He's in his apartments, and I'll put the sound on. Hold on 1 second.
What's up, guys? This is Jervis from the New York RedBulls, and I'm going to show you guys some drills you can do during this quarantine period. So the first fourth turn, and the second is the slap cut. So the first is the fourth turn just behind your back foot, and the second is your foot over the ball and then push it. And this time we'll do it a little bit quicker. So right, and then slap cut, and then drill. So yeah, and then the top here.
Yeah, so you can see Jared doing it there. I think maybe we could critique his slap cut a little bit there, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, being as he's doing it in his apartment and he's got the table next to him. So that's the technical portion. So we're in week 2. Each week we'll build on from the previous week. So then from there, we then have the physical component. So traditionally we don't have a big physical nature in our grassroots curriculum.
Right.
But we've put some fun elements in here, and you'll see Jeffrey. This is our academy strength and conditioning coach recording them at home, where he's got hopscotch, bear crawls, and these are just things kids can do just to break the activities up. And then the big one, we had a lot of interest in the game understanding. So the concept here is we started off encouraging the kids to learn more about the team, maybe some different tactics and formation. And so in week 1. We asked kids to pick their RedBulls five-a-side team. And then in week 2, we asked them to pick their all-time starting 11 based on Support Shield winning teams. So when we won it in 13, 15, and 18, they had to go and research it. And we do like an online form where they submit their answers as well. So I think we had probably around 250 submissions last week. And then we have a fun time voting on who we feel the best entry is. Yeah, and then we publish it. And then we engage with the kids, and the winner will publish. And when we eventually get back to Red Bull Arena, we'll send them a gift once we get back. And then really the final part of it, and probably my favorite part, because I can't do any of it, is the freestyle components of it. So we have a freestyle team, and these guys that they do a great job they come to a lot of our camps and clinics and club programs, but they always have a big audience and a big following. So I'll pull up a couple of this week's freestyle activity.
What was the sign language comment on there? Do you actually? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'll play. So what we'll do, and because the YouTube audio isn't great, I'm going to hold my headset to the mic. So apologies if the sound isn't great, but essentially, Benny, who you see on the right, he signs every single ball mastery skill he does. So he does a knee catch here. So I'll play this one.
That's cool.
Yeah, so hopefully you heard some of that, and then I'll just show one more, and then.
Is there a story to why he knows how to sign?
Yeah, no. So he's learned sign language, and whenever he does any of these activities, he does sign all the activities as well. So we specifically didn't ask him in this situation to do the sign language, but it's just something he does as part of his all his activities.
Fantastic.
And then I'll show the last one.
Yeah, I can go out and do that right away.
Yeah, it makes it look very easy. So you walk us through the instructions.
Now, just to be clear, these are not first team players, right? These are your freestyle team.
Yeah, correct. So these are guys that work within the communities and do these freestyle road shows as well. And
Very cool.
you'll see, like in this one, he actually teaches how to do it. So it doesn't just show it, but right now, and I'm not sure how much you can hear of the activity, he's actually walking the audience through exactly, he's breaking it down into stages. So it becomes a little bit easier. And I think when you do break it down into stages, it does become easier to learn this skill, or at least in theory.
I'm not going out in the backyard and trying myself, but anyway.
Yeah, well, Ian, you can if you can tag us if you do.
Yeah,
if
go.
you master it, tag us.
I'll get right on that.
We'll get you a Red Bull jersey if you're the winner.
Magic.
I'll pause this. So, and then you can see week 1 activities. So we leave the previous weeks in there. So if you miss week 1, you can go back to it. But ultimately, we provide an easy way to view these, and you'll ultimately come through to week 2. So a couple of other things just before I wrap this portion of it up. So we're encouraging parents to tag us. So when kids are doing these videos, our tagline is Red Trains Together. So they'll come to one of our social media challenges and tag us. So, and if the listeners, clubs, parents do want to sign up, it is completely cost-free. And you simply just go to the New York RedBulls website, and you can sign up, and every Monday morning you'll receive that plan for the week ahead. So, that's our train at home plan. Both for individuals and the team component, and we've got a lot of engagement in it, and we're excited about the initiative.
So I apologize. Thanks, David. So I apologize if you said this. So can it be could it be a club here in Indiana, for example, that can join for free?
Absolutely, you can join. We've had clubs and parents and people reach out from all over, not just the US, but the world.
Awesome.
It's
wonderful.
It's there for everyone to use.
That's
David,
wonderful.
On the scoring sheet that you provide them, that's for the kid themselves, right? If they choose to share it, that's up to them.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also just about to launch a team score sheet as well. So the one that you saw is for individual players. So if teams want to do more from a competition standpoint, either their coach or the parent manager, they have a team one, and the players can report back into them the number of touches, the activities that they did as well. So as we went live with the team component of it, we had a lot of feedback saying, as the team coach, how can I keep track of what they're doing? And they're sending me anyway. So we create. It looks like the individual scorecard, but it actually is a team portion of it.
Yeah. So to the audience listening, I think this is really important. If you want to make it competitive within your team or between players, know that you're doing it and be very careful. I think the way RedBull set it up, where the kid can go and get 10, and then the next day he or she can try to get 12 or 15, is a much healthier way than me sending Vince that I got 10 when Vince can only ever get 5, and he'll never be able, if we both keep training. So if you're going to make it competitive, know the implications. but what we would refer to, I think, is a lot more self-reference. So here's your training program. If you do it a couple of times this week, what was your score at the beginning of the week? What was your score at the end of the week? Is a very positive way to do it if you choose to. Sorry, Vince.
No, it's great. You're right. We have a question from the chat box, Dave. If you have a second just to answer. So
Yeah,
it's from
sure.
Chris. It's from Chris, and he says, if we register, should we get an email just on Monday? So I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you register, you'll get the email every Monday morning.
Every Monday morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can opt into other emails and you can opt out as well. So if you are within the New York area or New Jersey area and you want to start learning more about, coming to games or coming to camps and clinics when we do eventually get out, you can choose to receive broader information, or you can just receive the weekly training plan.
Fantastic.
Well, Dave, we appreciate your time. You've given us an extra 5-6 minutes here, so thank you so much.
I've been
And
talking too much.
no, it was wonderful. And we're going to have part 2 with your colleague Max Dubain.
Yes.
At 4:00 Eastern Time, 3 Central, and we hope that we get to see or hear most of you through the chat box at that time. So
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dave.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
audience.
Thanks.